are It's Just a Hill, a cycling club that promotes inclusion, judgment-free, with no gatekeepers. Focused on creating content from behind the handlebars to in the studio, It's Just a Hill is producing videos and podcasts to spread the message that cycling is for everyone. We are focused on reminding everyone that riding your bike can help you overcome any obstacle, because after all, it's just a hill. I'm John.
I'm Jared.
I'm Jeremy.
I'm Brian.
I'm Brian.
I'm Maddie.
And that is how you start a podcast for to pitch to NPR, right? It's just very,
Yep.
that's the vibe that we're going for here.
Very serious.
It's like we mentioned inclusion, and so it's all about public radio, right?
Absolutely.
All about public radio.
I only listen to NPR.
Yeah. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing great.
Well,
Thank you for being here.
Excellent.
Thank you for listening and joining us. This is the first episode, so we're sort of feeling everything out. We have some members that aren't with us today, some other core members of the group, right? We have Jeep, we have Nate, and then we have my dad. His name is also John. And so certain episodes, some of us will be here, won't be here, but we're sort of just putting out feelers, seeing how this goes. And first up, I think we're just going to sort of talk about why we as individuals got into riding our bikes, right? Sort of in the mission statement, we talk about it helping overcome obstacles. Like for me personally, I think it helps me deal with certain demons that I have, whether that be like depression or maybe just like having a bad day. I like to ride my bike and sort of use it to escape the world. But also I like to ride my bike to enjoy the scenery and different stuff like that. Like, Jared, why do you, when someone asks you that question, like, why do you ride your bike? What is the first thing that comes to mind?
Initially, I feel like the story's been told a lot, but it was initially for weight loss. Just being a big guy up around, 230, 240 pounds. And then it sounds silly, but at first I was just like, hey, you can lose weight while sitting down. And
yeah, hell yeah. Silly's good.
I figured I'd give it a go. And then, I bought like $120 Schwinn off Craigslist and started pedaling that around and ended up linking up with you for a while after that. And then, like each one of us, you get the bug and
sure,
it just doesn't stop after that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Jeremy?
Why did I
Same
start
question.
riding? Same question. Not a different question.
Same one.
I started riding because it hurts less than running. And
I've heard that a lot from a lot of people.
Definitely,
yes.
Definitely hurts less than running.
Yeah.
I fucked up my knees so many times.
Yeah.
The fuck's he laughing at?
Yeah, he thinks running is that funny. Actually, the concept of running just really...
Yeah. I'm just joking. It's fine. I thought about running and I started choking.
You're just like this loser.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm okay. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
That one last cough, really. Are you good? Just give him a second. Are you good?
Great. Yeah,
okay,
we're good.
Yeah, so running, I ran a lot and I fucked up my knees a lot.
Yeah.
So transitioning from biking into running, I was doing it pretty much 50-50 for a while. And I got to the point where it was almost every time I would go out, I would just hurt myself. Just like running 6 miles at like a steady pace. And then it would get to the point where I would just like hurt myself. Then there would be a recovery mode or recovery like zone.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would feel like I was starting from square one. So I was going from being slow to being fast, being slow to being fast. And it just like wasn't really a good progression.
A little bit frustrating.
Yeah, it was annoying. Yeah. And then, you fall into like that hole of not feeling like you're like performing as well as you should be.
Mm-hmm.
You get like so good and then you fall into it. But yeah, biking is just more enjoyable and it hurts less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Brian?
Thank you, Jeremy. My story is almost a combination of Jared's and Jeremy's. Main reason being for weight loss. I basically did no exercise throughout my 20s, just played music. And all of a sudden, I had the urge to do it and decided it was time to lose weight. And I started going to like Planet Fitness and just doing cardio with my wife. And I just kind of hated that. So I decided to run outside, and that was way better. But then I realized that running is really hard on the body, and I already have bad knees. So
We're not like an anti-running
no.
podcast.
I mean, I think
I just
running
want to
is
put that
cool,
out there.
But it is tough on the body. I mean, you can't
It
deny
pounds
it. So,
it pounds the body in a certain
Yeah.
way. Sure.
so I started doing that, and I got better at it, and I enjoyed it. But then I realized that I was just going to hurt myself. So I started looking for a bike. I had a friend that bought a house, happened to have a road bike in my size in the garage of the house they bought,
Wow.
and the rest is history.
Was that the
It's
Univega?
destiny.
That's
That
the
was
Orvega.
the small Univega, yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where's that bike today? You
It's
still have it?
at my house, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's still in great shape.
Mhm.
Lubes
Lubes the chain
it
every
up
day?
the other day. Oh, yeah, lube the chain. I lubed the lines.
Thing rips.
I've got a couple people riding it right now for like bike path
At the same
rides.
time? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just see how many people you
Yeah.
can fit on it.
What are you? Are
Yeah,
you
no, but that thing's really
renting it out to
running
people?
nice. Oh, I mean, that's a good
He
idea.
got it for
actually.
free in a
Yeah, that's
garage.
good
He's like
idea.
renting it out for
Brian-
$50.
It's like
Yeah.
Brian's bike rent.
It's like an
Business
Airbnb
model,
for
yeah.
bikes.
Yeah.
Does that exist? You got to keep that
Airbnb
down
for
low.
bikes, so I don't
Yeah.
think you sleep on it.
Keep-
You can rent it. I saw a guy. This
you know.
is stupid. He was renting a travel case. He bought a super expensive travel case, and he was like, $50 a week. I'll rent you this case for your bike. I need it in July for the trip I bought it for. I'm going to rent it out. It was on like one of those like pink bike marketplace deals.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. That's
Making
like
some good
tools
money
and
on that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Bike
Just
boxes
buy
are like
something
$500.
Very
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah, unless it's so it's not sitting dormant, just like in
Right.
your basement, you just rent it out to
Just
people.
rent it out.
idea.
Yeah. Make a schedule.
Subletting.
Subletting, beach house,
Huh.
ski house,
So we got a
Bike
solid
box.
idea now,
bike
right?
box, same
Yeah.
I
concept.
gotta
Brand
buy
it.
one.
Let me introduce you to my pyramid scheme.
Yeah, exactly. Start with 2 bike boxes. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's a great scheme.
Yeah, that's my short story of how I got into it. Brian,
Thank you, Brian.
you're welcome, Brian.
My name's Brian. I started riding. I don't know how it initially started, but you had your single speed, and I was like, "Oh, I want to ride bikes too." And then I bought that bike bought that like Contender bike. It was called, I think. It had
Yeah,
like
with
a
the tourneys on it?
Tiagra 9-speed.
Oh, very
Nice.
Yeah. Which you have now, don't you?
I do. I still have it.
Just, but
Also renting it out.
renting it
yeah,
out.
I
There's a guy riding it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was also kind of like a fitness thing. I wanted to get in shape and saw Jeremy riding his single speed, and I was like, I'm going to order a bike. It was like right when COVID hit, and ordered the bike, and we did the East Bay bike path. It was like 26 miles, and I almost died.
Yeah.
Had to like push the bike up the hill at the end, which is barely even a hill.
Yeah.
And then you and Nate started getting into it, and then we all started riding together. That was like kind of what pushed me. I was like, well, I bought that BMC, and then now you have that.
I have
Yeah.
that bike.
And
It's a pattern.
Yeah. And
You want Nestworks?
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of got super addicted to it. And then after I met you, that was pretty much like the
Locked in, baby.
locked in.
Locked
Like,
and
well,
loaded.
fucking, I guess we're going.
Yeah.
It's funny.
And,
You have that effect on a few people at this table.
We'll get
Ended
to
up-
me. in a
Ended up
second.
losing like, I don't know. I think I weighed like almost 190 at about this time last year.
Yep.
And now I'm like 165. So,
What the?
What the hell?
but
We lost a GoPro. Now
yeah.
do you want to slap that back on record?
give it a slap.
Jump cut number 1.
All right. That's pretty much it. I never ran. I ran a couple times, but not about that life. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'd rather bonk than run like 2 miles. I'd rather just.
Yeah.
You'd rather bomb?
Well, I've done a
Yeah,
couple
like after
I've done
like
a couple like
70 miles.
5Ks with Jeremy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the thing about running, I feel like, is just like it's almost like you can get it over with like so much quicker. 45 minutes
Oh, yeah.
running.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it's just like
yeah.
the calorie burn difference is like,
Are you kidding? Oh, well, 45 minutes on a bike. There's no way you're burning as much as if you ran 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know?
I
Yes.
think,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think running burns a lot more like
Yeah, I think I was burning like 650 150 calories or something like that on like a 10K or something.
Yeah. If you go like straight time, the calories isn't good. But like I ran today for the first time in like a year.
How'd that feel?
Awful.
You're done.
Terrible. I was like, oh yeah, I've been riding a lot, so like this will be fine.
It doesn't translate.
No, it doesesn't.
It hurts. It hurt. Yeah,
Wow.
like
I said we weren't. I'm not trying to, but I mean, I do think it is a thing that we could like even talk about and bring other people on. And talk about, because I talk to some cyclists, and a lot of the times you hear it's almost like a third of them are like, well, I used to run, and it's like,
we can put biking down a little bit. Biking is way more expensive.
Biking
way
is
more
and
expensive.
I think that's part of the reason, like cycling culture.
Dude, a pair of
sucks.
shorts.
Oh yeah.
A pair of shorts on the high end,
All you need are
$90
shoes.
bucks.
Yeah.
Lululemon.
Shoes and shorts.
You'd be set after that.
Yeah.
You just need to get nice shoes.
That's true.
Dude, shoes are
gotta be
the
everything,
key.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would imagine.
Shoes
A
and
lot
shorts.
of pluses to running.
Yeah.
Walk out your door.
Absolutely.
Go do it.
Yeah.
Own
It's
it.
so
Way
great.
less cost.
You don't need a shoe
You
fit.
swing your legs a couple times and then you're all
Swing
warmed
your
up.
legs.
That's my trick. I don't
Are
know.
you supposed to stretch before you ride?
Yeah, that's what it is.
What the hell?
A couple leg
it's not
swings.
stretching.
Grab your saddle and you grab your bars and you
That's
just like
a-
swing your legs back and forth. I consider that stretching.
It's like warming up.
No, it's just a warm up. It's not stretching.
It's called
You shouldn't
progressive,
stretch
progressive stretching.
before riding. You stretch after riding.
I don't stretch at all. so.
I never stretch.
Oh, you don't
I
do
know it's
yoga
so
anymore?
bad.
Stretching's for
No, I
pussies.
fell off.
You did fall off.
I got to get back
Shit.
back into
You got to
it.
do a couple windmills.
I fell off a little bit.
You know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how I got into riding.
Yes, thank you, Brian.
Thanks, guys.
Maddie.
so I was running a lot.
What the?
Yeah, no, for real though. Yeah, like a few, probably I don't know, 3-4 years ago or something. I started running regularly, and like Jeremy and Brian, I started having issues. Like my knees would hurt, my hips would hurt. It was fine for like a little while, but then after like 3 months of running like 2 or 3 times a week, I went out and just like couldn't even make it a quarter mile before I started having pain. So I stopped, and I wanted to get a bike at that point, but for whatever reason I didn't. And then
Because Brian didn't have a bike at that point.
Brian hadn't got his bike yet.
Yeah.
So
Only buy bikes for
Yeah.
me.
and then so when COVID hit, I started running again, but same issues. And Brian got the Contender, and so we started talking about riding bikes. I mentioned how I had wanted to like a couple of years ago, and then when he decided to upgrade,
Right.
He was
Once
like-
every 3 months or so.
yeah, he was like, would you buy my bike?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, why not? So I did, and then started riding, liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And then now I own 2 of Brian's bikes.
Nice. Wow. You
Got the
guys are
super
really
team wheels on there too.
Yep.
Hell yeah. I'm not familiar with this. What is a Contender?
It's
Is it
Golden.
state?
golden
Cycle.
cycles.
Okay.
It's nothing.
It's an Amazon brand,
Gotcha.
basically,
Gotcha.
essentially.
Like
Was
500
it
bucks.
Amazon? Well, I got it
Yeah.
off of
got it
City Grounds.
City Grounds.
Citygrounds.com.
City
Yeah.
Grounds,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, I put a lot
fine
of
entry level
I put
bike.
a lot of miles on that thing.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
it
a
was-
lot to be said about a bike like that you can sort of learn like what you want to do when it comes to
Right.
riding.
So I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if I'm gonna like this.
Because
Right.
if he didn't have that and like was just selling the BMC,
Sure.
like I'm not gonna just jump into a $2,000 bike.
Absolutely.
I probably wouldn't have gotten to riding at all.
Right.
But having a decent entry level bike where I don't mind dropping a few $100s for it just to see if I like it.
Right.
And then I put carbon wheels on it.
Well, that
for some
helped,
reason.
yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, I rode the Schwinn with flat pedals for so long and
Yeah.
toe straps before I actually upgraded to like a halfway decent bike. But yeah, you learn everything on that bike.
Yeah, you figure
Yeah,
out
I
what
just
you
had
want to
cages.
trash
do.
it a little bit.
You gave me a
Yeah.
set of cages.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's what sold you. Oh, I can put water bottles on this thing.
No, for the
pedal-
pedals.
Oh, pedals. Gotcha.
That too, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and it holds water.
Wow, these things you can put.
It only
water on.
had one cage.
I don't
though.
want to skip
I
over
felt so
anybody, but I
cool when
want
I
to
got
like
the-
know about everybody's first bike.
Oh, first bike?
Yeah.
I like that.
I remember
Not like first, like
First bike ever.
not like your Walmart first bike for
Right.
the elementary bike trip.
But like
Like
the
your
first bike
first-
that got
first
you
bike, yeah.
into riding more serious.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And truly brought us to this table
Yeah, it was definitely
right
that
now.
that Craigslist Schwinn with the flat pedals and toe straps, and then It's just like seeing Big John, who's John mentioned before, like right
Big John?
next
Is
to
that what
him.
we're calling my dad?
Big John.
Big John. You call
Big
my dad that?
John.
No, I'm just
We do now.
What the?
just came out.
Large
there. I don't know
John.
how to
All right,
how to
that's
identify
fine.
him outside of John.
Big John.
We should
Um,
also go around the table and say what we call your father.
Yeah, did you
Yeah.
everyone have a nickname for my dad? I guess dad's kind of a
Just
nickname.
John's dad.
I call him Dad.
Father John.
Call him Daddy.
I know Nate calls him
Daddy.
Dad.
What the fuck?
He's gonna love this.
Oh, that's your mom's.
Oh yeah. Yeah, once my dad figures out how to listen to a podcast. No, I think he knows. I think he probably knows actually.
No, I call him John Senior though, even though I know that's not what.
Well,
it
no,
is.
were we really doing this where we're gonna go around the table and
Just
okay.
for ease of
I think we
things.
already did. I think
Yeah.
we just did.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
It's just so
Sorry,
funny. Just
Jared.
like 'cause he was one of he's one of the first people I ever rode with that was like, deck to the nines and kit, had the really nice bike. And like I'm on the $120 Schwinn with flat pedals, and like I have like Nike Air Forces on, and soccer shorts
Yeah.
and a t-shirt. I remember running like the First Century in a pair of soccer shorts.
Yeah.
On a
Century?
bike that wasn't mine.
Problem.
Yeah,
That's a
It's just-
problem.
But yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that was all great.
Not that there's
You
that's
did a
really
really-
wrong with
century
that.
on that bike?
No, I actually ended up borrowing one of his
Oh.
Bianchis, and he's like,
One of
take
his.
these shoes, take this bike. You cannot do a century on the bike that you have.
You
and
should've.
that's pretty much what ended up happening.
In
I
Air
made
Maxes.
it.
Hell
And then
yeah.
you went from the Schwinn to what? Because we can even go over like.
So to my current bike, which is the Cat 10, the Cannondale.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and I've just been riding that ever since.
It's a big jump.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's been very fun.
Wait, how many years?
This is my third year with that bike, I think. Yeah,
Damn.
Hell yeah.
I'm due. Well, I did just get the gravel bike
You
too,
did.
but that's
Right.
so that's a whole new world to me right now. I've never ridden gravel before, and then like picking up the gravel bike and like hitting the trails, it's just been so
So
much
fun.
Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I think it's your turn.
That's right. So, not to beat a dead horse, but my dad is the reason why I ride my bike. A big reason,
Yeah.
like you mentioned, him being like into it before you were, before I was growing up. My dad always had groups of people like us coming over to the house, and like they would like come in the basement and change, and they would go out for a few hours and ride and then come back home. My dad was on like sponsored teams and raced a lot when I was a kid. And it was like, I love my father very much, but growing up, we had a tough relationship. And so cycling was something that I never really was into because it was something that he was super into.
Yeah.
But I too, like had some weight that I wanted to lose. And I did not lose weight from cycling specifically. I did it in other ways. But once I did drop some weight, I realized I wanted to get more into riding. Having known Jared for a long time, like we've known each other close to 10 years now, like, partying together and like going like college and stuff like that. And, knowing that we were friendly and you were into riding and you were telling me like that you were riding with my dad, it was a little bit like I felt like maybe I was missing out on that, so sort of got into it in that way. My first bike that my parents bought me and my wife both hardtail mountain bikes as our first like bikes to get us back into it. We were living in San Diego at the time. So the idea was that we would go like trail riding.
Yeah.
Then when I moved back here to Rhode Island, I ended up I did some rides with you and a couple other people on that mountain bike.
Yeah. I
Starting
remember
with
those.
flat pedals, doing like 30-mile rides like
road.
around
Yeah.
roads and bike paths and stuff on
yeah.
Hell yeah.
a 29er with these big ass knobby tires and trying to keep up with people on road bikes, which is so ridiculous looking back on now, but it got me to where I wanted a road bike.
Right.
Right. And so then I bought like my LA and the story is from there. Now I have another bike coming in the mail probably by the time this podcast is out, and it's a problem,
Yeah.
but you can never have too many bikes.
There's
N
worse
plus
problems.
one, baby.
Yes,
N
true.
plus one. There's worse problems.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it brings such a joy to my life in the most non-corny way. And
Yeah.
like meeting people like you, like, Brian St. Pierre, I've known you for a while, but like we've sort of rekindled a relationship through
Absolutely.
cycling and
Yeah.
meeting people with like-minded interests, like especially over the course of a pandemic and not being able to socialize in a certain way, being able to do that outside and just sort of get away from being stuck indoors, I think amplified that for me personally, like
Yeah.
100%.
I don't
Yeah.
think any of this would have happened for me, at least if the pandemic never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which means
Chris-
it wouldn't have happened for me either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's
trickle down
interesting to
experience.
think
Just got
about.
on secondhand, Brian.
Yeah.
So
but you're setting yourself up like in really good. Because he's eventually going to like buy motorcycles,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
so like
no.
he'll have to just.
No, I
I'm
would
waiting for him.
have bought the one Jeremy was just selling if that was the case.
Missed out,
It's
man.
Too good of a deal.
I'm
Missed
waiting
out.
for him to sell the house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get a house.
Yeah.
It's for sale.
Cool.
Hand me down, Maddie.
Oh man.
Who else wants to talk about maybe like their first bike and like how Jeremy, you brought it up. Is there something that you want to talk about too?
I'll go last because I have a pretty
Oh.
good story.
Okay, well, Maddie, we know
what I
that.
got for my first
Jared
bike.
just went.
Yeah,
So do you want to go back around? And actually, you just
Yeah,
said
sure.
too.
I just
'cause
said
you
it
said
too.
the LA.
but and Maddie mentioned the contender,
Maddie
right? Was that
mentioned
the
the
first
Contender.
one that you would
Are we
say?
talking like first bike or like?
Well, I don't remember
Like
the
as a
Diamondback
child?
I got when I was like
Yeah.
13.
I
I
had
had,
a
a real, I had a real
GT.
sick gyro with nice pegs
Oh,
on it.
dude, me
so-
too. I had a
Do my
GT,
Harrow F3.
Hell yeah.
GT with a gyro on it, some pegs.
Pegs on one side.
I had them on both.
On the back?
So your
Oh,
buddy
all
could
four?
get
I had
on
all
the back.
four.
I couldn't afford all four. My dad was like, I'm not buying you BMX shit. Get on a road bike.
Ooh.
Yeah. No,
Well,
I don't think that's
my
true.
first bike was the Contender. As if we're
Yeah.
talking,
Yeah, road bikes. Road
Yeah.
bikes.
we
talking-
did also
sure.
already talk
Yeah.
about that.
yeah.
Well, so now we're back to you.
Huh?
So you started a year ago.
I started exactly a year ago, like
No.
Today, happy birthday.
this couple weeks, like 2 weeks
Wow.
ago, I think.
And how many bikes have you owned in that time?
More than I
5 or
have
6.
in my life.
The Contender, the BMC, the S-Works, the CAD, the LA, the 2 gravel bikes, 7 bikes.
So
Brian could have bought a new car.
It's a lifetime. Of
7 bikes. I have 3 now. We're good. I'm in,
Right,
a good,
because-
I'm in a good place.
This car has no hubcaps, but he has 4 bikes.
Yeah, my car barely operates.
But like, it's easy to convince yourself that you need these bikes for different things. It's
Oh,
easy
yeah.
for me to convince myself. at least.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, oh, I have a road bike and okay, I have a gravel bike and
Right.
well, and then maybe I'll like trade this bike in or sell it and get another one, right? Like it's
And I got the gravel bike, and I was like, I want a different gravel bike.
and it is sort of I think it's a curse to the process of cycling. When we talk about how expensive it is, like the technology is always improving,
Mhm.
right? And I say that in quotes because it's part of it is like a marketing scheme.
Mm.
And I think as much as we might like bikes of a certain level, right? Like I like to ride a bike that I like to ride, but that doesn't mean that you need to ride a fancy bike to get into cycling, right? Like whether it be an entry level bike or something that you ride for 10 years that is a 9-speed Tiagra or whatever, you
Mhm.
know? I think that's important to just like embrace it, you know, because we talk about overcoming an obstacle or a hill, right? And like how like cycling can help you do that. Yeah.
For sure.
Brian, first bike?
I had essentially a BMX, but it was like a really small green Ninja Turtle themed bike with like the Ninja Turtle
Wow.
number plate in the front, whatever you want to call
Is that
it.
when
The
Ninja
number
Turtles
plates.
came out?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, I mean, we were a little.
Oh, it was
I don't
like
remember what year that
cartoon.
came out. That was 80s.
1987 ish.
Right?
I have a toy in my
Yeah.
car, actually. Ninja Turtles toy.
Nice.
Yeah. I have a whole separate podcast about it. I'll talk about it on there. Sorry, go ahead.
And then I got a Schwinn Predator, bright orange. I still
does that
have
look
it. It's
like?
in my garage. That was a BMX bike. I still have it, and I had a yard sale with my wife and-
Recently, right?
yes, 2 days ago,
Uh-huh.
and I could not sell it.
What?
I thought about selling it.
Brian is the
I'm
opposite.
not going to get rid of that.
Other
bike.
Brian is the opposite.
Or maybe I will.
You guys
I
are
actually-
two different Brians.
I
No-
want
no
to.
yard
I want to
sales.
fix it up and ride it, but
Oh, these look
that's
cool.
another story.
Take the BMX
Wait,
to
they
a
still
pump track
make
or something
them?
like that.
The Schwinn Predator.
Can I see it?
Do they still
You
make
can
them?
buy it on Amazon right now for $400.
400. Nice.
Wow.
How much
This
were you
boy?
going to sell the other one?
Don't tell your wife.
Flat bars?
Could have lost.
Nice.
I mean, it looks a little bit different, but
It's
yeah,
a BMX bicycle.
yeah.
Damn.
Right now is the time to sell
Rad
it.
retro replica based on the original 1983 classic.
Oh, rad.
Oh,
Oh,
sick.
nice.
Yeah, no, it's a sick bike. I used to ride that thing even,
Huh.
but I got it maybe when I was like 12, maybe. And me and my buddy Dominic, who's a BMXer, I would ride that bike with him, like downtown, wherever, like post college when I was like home and hanging out with him again. Like ride that thing a lot still, and it was still in okay shape. Like he helped me fix it up. So anyway, yep, road bike is how I got into what we're doing now. And as previously stated, that was a Univega that I got out of a friend's garage for free. It was truly a blessing. And that was actually about 2 years ago, almost to the day. Similar to your 1 year.
A lot of anniversaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Good
I've been
job,
cycling for
Congratulations
just
to all
about
of us. Yeah.
I've been going for just about 2 years thanks to that bike. It was like founded on bicyclebluebook.com. Not that I'm plugging that, but it was like a 1999 steel frame Univega with Campagnolo Mirage on it. I believe that's a Mirage.
It's gonna be a lot of
I
cuts.
don't know. That's what it
Drivetrain.
had on it. I didn't realize that was a steel bike either.
Yeah, steel with Campagnolo.
Hell yeah.
Sick bike.
Steel
I mean,
is real.
entry level essentially, but sick bike. Yeah.
So
I don't know
we're
what else to say about it.
We're all relatively new. It sounds like, just like I didn't know how long most of you guys had.
Yeah, just some young bucks, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple of young boys.
Yeah, come on.
Starting the new generation of cycling.
Yes,
Did you go from that alley to the look that you have now?
correct. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Why?
I don't know. I just
Okay.
assumed that you had more than that.
Yeah, no, from an LA that I bought secondhand from a guy that dealt LAs to a look from a guy who ended up selling Specialized to selling looks. So same guy within about a year. Yeah. But just like had the opportunity and man, do I love that look. It's such a nice bike.
It is a
I
nice
used to
bike.
hate
Jeremy,
that
there's just a certain connection, you know?
bike.
Dude, my look.
A nice boutique bicycle that you don't see many of and whoo.
You weren't the person like before we initially met. You weren't the person I like stopped in the middle of Wayland Square and asked you where you got your look from.
No, that was not me, but man, do I wish it was. You stopped someone?
Dude, I was like on the fence
You
about
think
buying
he
a
would be?
look.
Why would he be in Wayland Square?
I don't
Wait,
know.
why would I not be?
I don't know.
I've got
man.
breakfast at that diner.
How many rides do you do around Wayland Square?
Fucking the one's not on
I
Strava, dude.
I like not. What's the opposite of vividly? I like just
Vaguely.
Not
vaguely,
vivid.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like
Unvivid.
remember like the person I was talking to.
Yeah.
He had a mustache. They
Yeah.
kind of look like you a little bit. Now that I'm like remembering,
Weird.
and I like saw this guy's look, and I was like, where'd you get that look? He's like, I bought it off a guy that was like,
I know exactly who it is.
do you?
I
Really?
know exactly who it is.
Really?
100%. His name is Robert Curry, and he rides the same bike as me.
Damn.
And he has a mustache, and he's got like arm tattoos and shit.
Yeah, that was the dude.
Yep.
I asked him, like from there, like bought my look.
Just have a connection with other
It's like
people.
a
who
week
ride
Yeah, you
later.
kept saying
Yeah.
you're like, I'm gonna get a look, and I didn't even know about him. I was like, what's that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you showed me,
It's a cool bike.
and then you got one.
So my first bike.
Was that your first one?
No,
Gotcha.
my first bike, Huffy,
Nice.
1994. No, it was.
It was in 1990.
Wait, so you're lying?
That was a lie. Well, that wasn't
It was more of a joke.
the
He's lying.
We took it as a truth. That's our fault.
the
Really.
year was a lie. It must have been like a 2001 or something.
So was
Huffy.
it?
I recently
Yeah.
sold it actually on Facebook Marketplace during the bike shortage
Right.
last year.
The COVID
Made a killing off of it. I probably sold it for more than my dad bought it for me for. It was like red camouflage. It was sick.
Damn.
Yeah, had a little Rhode Island license plate on the back that had my initials on it.
Nice.
I like kept that license plate.
You still have it?
Yeah, I should put
It's
it on the back.
look. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should put it on the back of my look.
Yeah, you
Oh
should.
my God,
It's
That's- The
super
throne
cool.
you had was pretty dope.
So I had a bike before that throne too. Well, I still have it actually. So the bike that I first initially started riding on, it was I don't know how many speed, but it was a Raleigh Grand Prix. My dad bought it brand new when he was, I don't know, he was born in 1960 to 74.
That's
So he
cool.
bought it brand new to do like his paper route on. So I started riding on that with like a friend of mine. I had like steel toe cages and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, wow.
Super cool. Like all of those old bikes had like the
The frame
The two-
shifter.
yeah, the frame
Oh,
shifters
yeah.
on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a cool bike, and I used to ride it like quite a bit. I like completely. It was just like sitting in the attic of my grandparents' old house, and I just like cleaned it up, and I started riding it with a friend of mine who bought like an old Nishiki, and he turned it into like a fixie, and then he like stopped riding because a fixie was like too hard to ride. So I just like continued to ride from there. And then a few other of my friends got into single speed riding. So at the time I was like, I could justify buying a single speed and like, cause all my friends were doing it. And then all my friends like dropped off from riding single speeds, and I was like the only one going out by myself, like just doing like 50 miles on a single speed.
Wow.
I was signing up for races and not races, but like
Like
You did
little
the Fort
events.
Bridge.
yeah, like little
Yeah.
like
the Four Bridge ride and shit.
RIP.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
R.I.P.
Sucks,
yeah.
Yeah, so I was just doing those, and I would get like so much satisfaction when people would come up to me and be like, "You're doing this on a single speed?" I'd be like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, fuck gears,
Yeah.
You know?
4 bridges on the single speed. That's
Yeah,
pretty
man.
crazy.
Yeah.
Jesus.
dude. It wasn't true fix, but it was
Yeah.
just single, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
But even
Um,
still, 1 gear the whole time.
Yeah, man. Looking back, it was tough,
Yeah.
but you know, this bike weighed like I think it was like 14 pounds or something like that. It was
Yeah.
super light. It was a cool looking bike.
Yeah.
But
was
then
pretty rad.
Yeah, it was a sick one.
then Brian number. Do you want to be 2 or 1?
I'll be 2.
All right, Brian 2.
Very
bought-
noble of him.
Come on.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Bought his bike, and I thought I could hang with him for like the rest of the summer because he was struggling so bad on that first ride.
Yeah.
And then he's quickly like started to catch up. Well, he it wasn't even catch up. He was just like faster than me. Went for a Portland, Maine ride, and he was just like significantly faster. I was just like pegged out, just like going as fast as I could, like probably 110 RPMs, like average.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like pretty much from that point, I don't think we rode much else.
No. What size was the chainring on that thing?
I was just thinking the same thing.
I was a 52,
Yeah.
and then I had an 18 on the back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was actually gonna go. I was gonna go down. I was gonna get like a 16, but starting out from stoplights was just like, yeah, it was, yeah, it's just like,
It's like
just
being
like
on the velodrome.
Yeah.
yeah. But I feel like I got a lot of bike strength from
Sure.
doing that because I just used to tool around Providence and just like climb College Hill.
Yeah.
And just like fuck around.
Yeah, what's that guy on YouTube? Terry Bernstein or something like that. He does all the sick NYC single speed rides.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
a maniac.
Yeah, I'm probably butchering his name, but yeah, I watch those videos all the time. They're sick.
Yeah, I watch those and I'm like, I think it's so cool, but it gives me such anxiety.
Oh,
like my
Yeah.
palms get sweaty from him like
Yeah.
going between these buses.
Or like
And,
just
like-
grabbing onto a car and just riding it for a
Yeah.
few seconds. Yeah. Jesus, no thanks.
It's like that Lucas Brunel guy.
Dude, that
He's
guy's
a madman.
so fucking funny.
Have you seen this man?
No.
Oh, he's just insane. Just like sketching cars going 60 miles an hour, just like holding on to the
On a
fender.
road bike?
He's got his little
Yeah.
flag.
Oh,
He's got his
wow.
little flag on the
You got the
handlebars.
flag on the
flag.
handle. I love
Yeah.
the flag.
Just going wherever he wants, like blowing red lights, like wrong side of the road,
Oh,
like
wow.
going on the highway.
And he's so chill about it. Like,
Yeah, he's
people
like-
yelling at him. He's
Yeah.
just like, oh yeah, sorry, man.
Sorry. Crazy.
Is a cool dude. But yeah, and then as soon as Brian started like getting more into it and he was like showing that he was getting faster, I was like, well, I gotta keep up with him if
Yeah.
we're gonna be doing this all summer. So I sourced a look. I think I placed a bid on like 6 different looks from eBay, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy one brand new. I think I found it through eBay, but I like contacted the place. It was like some place in
Like a bike
It
shop.
was like a
yeah,
bike shop.
it was
Yeah.
like a bike shop in like Iowa or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were like the only ones that had this 675.
Yeah.
I called them. I was like, hey, I saw you have this on eBay. I was like, if you sell this to me for cheaper, we can go around eBay and we'll both get something out of it.
Yeah.
You'll get the money that like
Yeah.
you would have lost.
And I get this.
He's
sick
like,
bike.
yeah. He's like, all right. And I was like, throw in some pedals and it's a deal. So he sent me some look pedals.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a good day.
Nice.
Yeah, spent all of my COVID money on it.
When I was a kid, I used to hate riding bikes simply because I used to live on a dead end street cul-de-sac, and it was like a really steep hill. And I was just like this fat, tubby kid that could literally just all the kids had bikes in the neighborhood. We would go everywhere, but I just could never get up the friggin' hill. So I always just hated riding my bike because of it. Remember getting signed up for mountain biking camp, quitting that when I was
Mountain biking
Damn.
camp.
in elementary
Oh,
school
camp.
at the YMCA. Signed up for like the 2-week
Camp.
mountain biking camp. Quit that shit.
What do you do there?
They just take you on like local trails and stuff
Huh.
all around like New England.
Sounds pretty
It's actually
cool.
Yeah, can we sign up now?
Yeah, looking back on it now, it's a very cool program.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Huh.
This Rhode Island?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, through the
Huh.
YMCA. It was I can't.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Kind of wish I could go back and.
It's kind of what we're trying to do, right? It's like set up our own little like camps.
Yeah, now I'm at home
I
looking
think
for
we'd all
trails
be
to
good
ride.
counselors.
Oh, I more meant like I like want to be like the kid at the camp.
Yeah, I don't think we want to be mentoring kids on biking.
Hey kids. No.
Oh man, but yeah, it took me to be until I was like 29, 30 years old to actually finally start liking it.
Well, beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great origin story,
Yeah,
boys.
great origin story. So yeah, I don't know if we want to, before we sort of talked about a couple other topics that we wanted to bounce around, right? Maybe if anyone had any like new gear they were looking forward to, or maybe new rides they were looking forward to, or any like we were sort of talking about the Giro, which is a professional race that's going on right now, and we were talking about some of the nasty crashes that have happened recently. But it's been a very exciting race to watch. Not to date the podcast too much, but like, is anyone else? I've been watching it pretty regularly myself. Has anyone else been watching it?
I haven't. The only things I saw were the.
I gotta be honest, like watching sports
Yep.
is the most boring thing in the world.
Sure.
Yeah. I think I can agree with that. But
I feel like
I do like watching racing though for some reason.
Yeah, I like watching cycling. Yeah.
Probably because all the merch, like the kit porn and stuff. But
Staring at bikes all
I
day.
should probably.
You should
Especially
clarify
that-
that word.
he said
T.
kit with a T at the end there. With a
Yeah,
T.
let's definitely get
Wow.
Okay. Definitely
Shut it down.
No,
Jump
yeah.
cut over this whole thing.
Oh my God.
I get what you're saying there though. That new EF kit
Yeah.
is fire. Yeah.
Scenery, bikes, all the
Yeah.
shit. I think that's what draws me into this. But yeah, I can agree. Watching most sports, I'm
I just
not into.
get like antsy. Like
Yeah.
I want to be the one doing it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I can like sit and watch a live stage of a race,
Mhm.
but I like watching highlights.
Highlights,
Like 20-minute
yeah,
highlight
for
videos,
sure.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think I want to sit
Yeah.
for a couple hours and just watch them ride the whole time.
Same thing with like any other sport, like basketball or like
So even
Any-
fast-paced sports, right? Because I think cycling can
Would
be.
you not call cycling fast paced?
I would consider that like I'm
I would. So as someone that watches a lot of stages of races,
yeah.
4 hours of two men that used to cycle talking about scenery and the things
Yeah.
that could happen
Have you ever
at the end of the race.
You ever watched
right?
NASCAR before?
Right.
So no, I don't really watch much NASCAR. I do watch a lot of baseball, which I also think is a boring sport to watch, right? It's very leisurely. Not much happens, and then all of a sudden something happens. But to me, basketball is fast paced,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Basketball is like constantly moving.
Right.
Things are happening.
Mm.
Cycling, they're moving, but I don't necessarily think things are happening. Even like if an attack happens, then people are ahead of the peloton by 4 or 5 minutes, right? If
Uh-huh.
peloton being the main group of cyclists, then still they're just like out there.
So I feel like I'd like it more if I was actually in person there,
Sure.
watching it.
Oh, yeah.
Like any sport, you know, like
But they would just ride by
you.
Yeah,
Quick.
that's the
And then
thing.
that's
Yeah, I was
it.
right,
gonna
but it's
say,
all part of the experience.
Which that
Yeah.
would be cool in and of itself. I would
It
like
would.
to see that as
Yeah.
well.
Right.
I've never been to a professional
Right.
cycling event.
I'm like big into watching or big into like motorcycles, and I've always wanted to like get into watching MotoGP and people racing on the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
But I've watched it and it just like gets so old to me at
Right.
least. But I could imagine that if I was actually
I
there,
feel like there's a decent
Different
amount
energy.
of cycling fans that watch that also.
MotoGP.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also maybe
the
if you like,
crossover's pretty easy.
yeah, I think
It's
if
still two
you
wheels.
understand like the strategy of team racing,
Mhm.
it's probably a lot more interesting.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
because
Definitely.
like if you know the ins and outs of what they're doing,
Right.
it's probably a lot more interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know about any of it till last year. Like the different jerseys and
Right.
I had
Oh, yeah.
no idea.
Yeah.
Right, because it's not something that is in like our culture being Americans. It's not that
Right.
like popular, you know. It's a very like heavily European sport, heavily predominate like by white people, and I say it with disdain, white people,
Mhm.
and because,
Minorities.
it is very like elitist in that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Maddie. Like, because I grew up watching a lot of it. Like, man, Lance Armstrong was a like a role model in my house for multiple years, you know, because like we watch that stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And looking back on it, it's like, oh, he's not great.
Right.
But like that excitement, which I think was probably at the time some of the most excited like American culture has ever been about cycling. People were getting into it more. But yeah, there are a lot of like
the peak.
nuances about it that is like, you look at it as an outsider and you're like, oh, all these different people wearing these different colors and riding these different bikes. You don't necessarily see like the strategy that's going on.
You think it's just like a bunch of guys riding as
Sure.
fast as they can.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a lot more complicated than that.
It's funny you mentioned the. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, there's some parts of it that I can't wrap my head around, like penalties for. Didn't that Rafa jersey get like penalties because it was like too bright or something?
It did.
Different colors and
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that part of it. Just
The
kinda
UCI
makes
is power hungry. They're sort of like the governing body of cycling.
Sock height,
bro.
Sock
things
height.
like that.
Yeah. That's something I never
Do
want
you
to talk
get an
about
advantage
again.
if you have a different height sock?
I don't know.
I
Apparently.
mean, maybe.
Less airflow, more airflow.
Well, you would.
Yeah, if the
wouldn't-
compression,
I feel like
like,
it would
up
be
your
more
leg,
than
you
maybe.
can't shave your
But you
legs
can wear pants.
too close.
You can wear tights. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, you can't wear tights?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Oh, I
so
didn't
why
know
does sock height matter then?
Don't know.
I didn't know you could wear pants.
Yeah, you,
It almost seems like
jeans. You can wear jeans.
Oh, cool.
almost seems like a
Sorry.
dictatorship in
Absolutely.
that
absolutely.
aspect, you know.
That was why they put out the like. What did they call it? The newer EF one.
Yeah, the compliant.
The compliant one. Yeah.
Right.
They had like the layout of it on it still, like
and it showed like
where all the
sleeve 4 inches long. And
yeah
like zipper.
They're
comes up to
basically
the-
like
yeah.
fuck you.
I think that's so funny.
So
wondering
sick.
people
I didn't
do
see that, but that's great.
You didn't see
Yeah, that was their
one?
follow
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Was that
No.
Rafa? Or was that
Yeah,
Rafa
EF and Rafa.
does for
Yeah.
Team EF.
Yeah.
But the kit they did for the Giro looks so sick. And then
This
how it
year and
matches-
last year.
Yeah. And how it matches the bike.
Right.
Like
It's
I would
great
get the one with
branding.
all the measurements on it. That sounds
yeah,
that one's-
they do
that's
sell
really
it.
They sell it right now.
really,
Yep.
really.
It's bright pink.
Yep. Bright pink with some like blue, like
They just couldn't use it because the Giro has a pink jersey in it.
Right,
Is that
so-
why they made the
Yeah.
EF always wears pink, but every year for
Yeah.
the Giro, the leader wears a pink jersey. So yeah, they need to redesign it. So
I got to get more into getting colored kit stuff.
Yeah, we
I
gotta
was
go.
just falling to black.
Yeah, same.
black's cool.
My
Yeah,
whole
but-
entire closet's black. The cycling closet.
Dude, I was
yeah,
like,
black's good.
I was showing you all those jerseys. That jersey I was gonna buy the other day. I was like, I'm gonna get the Rust one, and then I like got to the shopping cart, and I was
You
like,
didn't get the Rust one?
no, I got
Oh.
black.
What makes a Rust jersey? I want a Rust jersey.
Pedaled?
Pedaled.
Okay. I'm gonna look into
I
that.
think
cool.
it's like, yeah, it's hard to tell. Like, this company specifically
You're like,
doesn't take. It almost they filter their photos, so you can't really tell what the color's
Oh,
going to be.
That's not
Okay.
helpful at all.
Yeah, I know. Like it's the one that I got. I think it's going to be black, but it says charcoal gray.
Gotcha.
But it looks black on the website.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a mystery. Could be just like straight up
That's
gray.
kind of fun.
I'd
Yeah,
go
right.
with the gray. Yeah, I'd assume charcoal gray.
Right.
You're like,
wouldn't
should I
be
get
mad.
black, yellow, or Rust? I was like, well, the black's kind of cool. I don't know. I like the yellow. You should get the Rust.
You gotta get a custom jersey with a yellow door on it.
Oh, he loves
know about the yellow
doors.
doors?
Yeah. Saw a lot of yellow doors
We can
yesterday.
talk- we can talk
It's the only
about that
reason he
yesterday.
rides.
The yellow door adventure. Do we all know about that?
No.
He likes,
no idea what you're talking
he
about.
really
You like to
likes
find
yellow
them?
doors.
It's just something that like I don't even do it on purpose anymore. It's just a
It's your number 23.
We're just riding, and he's
Right.
but like wherever. I just if I don't even see him, I just hear yellow door.
I actually think it now too.
yeah.
Ever since last summer when we were riding, I think it was like
Every time
I think it
see
was a
yellow
Newport
door.
Now I'm gonna think
ride
about it.
maybe
Yep.
that we did, like a Newport 65
Right.
that the three of
Yeah.
us did,
Yeah.
and it came up on that ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hashtag yellow door. This is an engagement opportunity for the podcast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just broke everybody.
yeah,
out
just,
listening to
tag,
this
it's just a
podcast.
hill.
Yellow
and then
door.
post it on your story.
It's just
It's
a
just the
yellow
yellow
door.
Pictures
door.
of people's
Yeah.
houses.
Take a picture of people's houses. It's not creepy. Just wear a mask. They won't know who you are. Not creepy. And hashtag yellow door.
Mhm.
Seems like a good idea.
It's funny you mentioned the Lance Armstrong thing. I was in that being a peak era in American cycling. And I think about like what's going on with like Legion and like Zwift
Mhm.
and them
Mhm.
becoming a professional team now and stuff. And do you think like because we're kind of in our cycling bubble, like I see this as a potential opportunity for like it to be like a catalyst for like that type of
Sure.
growth again. I just don't know if like that's because we're in like our bubble, but like
I agree that it's a catalyst. Like
Yeah.
it could be a catalyst, but I also see where you're coming from. That like we are honed in on it.
right.
Is the general public aware of it? I don't think so. Not yet. Do I hope they become aware of it? Yes, absolutely. But I don't know.
But to me, I see like that, like I dream of, not dream, but like I see that being like an opportunity for like, you know, like an ESPN to start showing like crit racing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, I mean, for Christ's sake, they show darts being thrown at a wall.
Seriously.
Why can't they show a crit race?
Sure.
And I feel like that's a perfect avenue for
That
it.
is
It's like through
interesting.
that team.
That is
Yeah.
a great comparison.
Yeah.
I watched a Tetris tournament
Yeah.
one time on ESPN too.
What?
Super exciting, but yeah, I'd rather have watched a
Dude,
crit race.
If
Yeah.
esports takes over before cycling
That's
does
a-
on ESPN,
that is
I
something
mean, there's
you can
esports
watch.
already on
Crit-
ESPN.
crit
Yeah,
racing,
absolutely.
watching crit racing gives me so much anxiety. Like that is like the fastest paced.
Right.
Like
Right.
Some
that
people-
is
super
that is
fast
fun to
paced.
watch.
some people
Like,
feel that same energy watching Tetris.
that's true.
Yeah.
True.
Have you watched a crit race?
No.
It's crazy.
We've
I don't
been over this.
understand. Just
And
wild.
I would think, like, I don't know, I'm getting too deep into the weeds, but like, I think like logistically, it'd be easier to pull off from like a production standpoint because you just need, you know, static cameras
Yeah, absolutely.
and a couple like floating ones, and then boom,
Yep.
easy broadcast.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
especially with a big company like ESPN that specializes in covering sports, they could
Right.
set that up in a heartbeat.
We gotta
Yeah.
hit up ESPN.
Right. And I'm just hoping I'm hoping like through them or like through whatever they produce from their like fame, through that, yeah, we get back to that level. Because
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I think it'd be awesome.
Is that all they're focusing on?
Crit racing.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that team for the most part, right? But they also have like a women's team now too. I don't know if
Right.
they're doing career racing as well. I'm not 100% honest.
Yeah, I don't know.
Me either.
Because I feel like not all of them are they always all in the races?
No.
I feel like it's just predominantly
I think it's
like
like-
Justin, Corey.
Yeah, I think it's like most cycling teams where they might have like a roster of like 20 or so people.
Yeah.
Right.
But then like maybe 9 will show up to a grand tour or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But like, yeah, it's most, it seems like the two hotspots are like that Southern California, like Legion side of the country. And
Right.
then
Uh-huh.
I think it's like Mike's Bikes in Florida and like, I can't,
Mhm.
whatever the big scene is down there.
Places where you can ride year long.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough where we live, just
Right.
being so seasonal and stuff.
Right.
I had a realization
Yeah,
a couple minutes ago.
It is a half an
What?
I always wear a friggin' hat.
Mm.
You
And
do.
everyone's wearing a hat right now.
You always wear a hat.
Always
Set
wear
a timer for a half an
Oh, yeah,
hour.
we are
Killing
all
it.
wearing
You didn't
hats.
get the hat memo?
Oh, the hat memo?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
shit.
it was in the Pages doc.
Yeah.
I didn't open the
after
Pages
what
doc.
we're gonna
You
talk
didn't
about,
open the
it was
Pages
just-
doc?
No,
Oh my God.
not since
How
the
do you know?
filming a few weeks ago.
Oh my.
Unfortunately,
I have one in the car, an
You didn't
extra
open
one
the
if you
Pages
want.
doc.
I didn't open the Pages though.
It said on the bottom, wear a hat.
Yeah, hopefully they knock it out of the park, and who knows, maybe this will.
Do you want me to open it now? I got it on my phone.
It's right there. It says it right there.
Wear a
I'm looking
hat.
at it.
Where,
Yeah,
are
wear a
you
hat.
serious?
Yeah. Must
No, dude.
wear a
You
hat.
just wrote
I
that.
just write that.
It's a different font,
It's the same font.
different size. It's
Caps
underlined.
lock. It's underlined. Yeah.
Let's see if we
It's
can
bold,
interrupt Jared
underline.
one more time.
No,
Let's talk about this.
Sorry, Jared.
I think we got there.
You love Lance Armstrong. He's your hero still.
Yeah, he's I feel
Greatest
like
rider
morally-
ever.
Morally,
Mhm.
I feel like he's a sound fella.
Absolutely.
I just think he gets a little rascally from time to time.
He's definitely a
That's why they had to
Yeah.
take one of his testicles.
Oh,
He's
jeez.
just a little
good
too
guy.
rowdy.
And
Keep
yeah,
going.
clean guy.
Uh huh. Clean shaven.
Are we talking about
probably-
Lance Armstrong?
Yeah, he's pretty clean. Showers daily.
Is
Yeah.
he a good guy?
No.
No.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't want to get whatchamacallits.
A hat?
Those sunglasses.
Sunglasses.
Is he associated with sunglasses?
Rokas. He does like ads for Rokas.
Oh, he does?
Yes,
Wait,
that's
I
why I
gotta
didn't
throw
get
mine
it.
out.
He does
That's
ads.
why-
That's
there
why
are,
I
there
didn't
are
get
bike
them.
companies that will pay him to do stuff.
Yeah, dude.
I
He's
figured
doing
nobody
Roka
would want to
ads.
do anything.
That's
Roka,
why I didn't
really?
buy
Are you
it.
kidding?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I
people
don't
still
know.
love
All
him.
right. Well, now that
I don't
everybody
He has
gets
a
it.
very successful
know that.
like cycling podcast and shit, and people. Yeah, he's an interesting figure. I'll watch him in interviews, but I don't look
It's like
up
a-
to him. You know?
yeah.
He's interesting.
I only bought the Rokas because Legion,
Yeah, little double-edged sword
the
there.
Matadors.
advertisement.
At least
there was.
Well, now they're in our logo, so
Yeah,
Design.
Bart's wearing Rokas.
so maybe
Oh yeah. It looks sick though. They look,
Oh, right, well,
they
hey,
look great.
It's actually
You still have time
it's
to-
actually Lance Armstrong.
we can just bleep out your whole part if you want to take a step back. That's fine if you don't want to be associated with it anymore. 'Cause I didn't know the Lance Armstrong connection.
we
I
can,
can not be associated.
we can
with it.
CGI you with
We could just cut
Bart.
you out of the podcast.
Like if you don't like,
because
the logo.
Go
Yeah.
CGI him with a hat on.
you know, no, but like you said, I mean, Legion wears them too. Like, I mean, there's that.
I didn't even
sick
know that he
page
did
with
an ad
Justin
with them.
Williams. So yeah, it was on some YouTube videos. You know,
Huh.
like a ad. Yeah, it definitely was not for that pair though, so that's a plus.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
I can
those
say
were.
that with
I think
confidence.
I don't know if it's true, but I think those were designed for
Legion.
Legion.
Were they
Yeah, I'm
really?
not sure.
Wait, so Jared, what were you
We'll
saying?
have to look into that one.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
How clean
I think
Lance
I'm-
Armstrong
yeah.
is.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wanna
I
go
think
back
I'm
to that?
genuinely curious as to like how much of like this whole new these like new teams that are popping up and like crit racing and like American cycling as a whole, like is it just because we love the sport and we know about it, or if like I really hope it picks up, but I don't. Yeah, I'm just curious if it's actually gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure if my bias is coloring my judgment in a
Right,
certain way.
yeah.
Well, they're not even playing like these tours on like actual cable. Like
They played well. They I
Tour
mean,
de France,
obviously Tour de France,
obviously.
but there's definitely a lot of other one day events
Sure.
that come up on like
Yeah.
is it maybe NBC Sports?
NBC
Network?
Sports, I think, does a lot of the coverage in
Yeah.
America. Yeah.
would
Yeah, I
imagine
wish they did the
broadcast
Giro,
coverage.
but
Right.
they're not doing the Giro. No one's doing the Giro. I don't think.
which
right
is
now.
interesting because I feel like it's big
Well, GCN.
enough.
Yeah, I would imagine GCN's.
I mean, on, like,
more
regular
TV
cable.
stations.
Yeah.
Right. Not
No
on
one regular
broadcast.
cable is
Broadcast
doing
TV.
the Giro.
Because like what NBC does Tour de France, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So talking about that, even though I never was into road cycling when I was a kid, I do have an uncle that has been into road cycling for a long time. And there was one holiday every year. I don't know if it was maybe Father's Day. I can't remember. Some holiday that we would always get together for a family event that coincided with when the Tour de France was on. So almost every year growing up, I would always watch with my uncle and maybe my dad and brother, whoever else wanted to watch it. I would watch one day of the Tour de France.
Mhm.
And every year my uncle would explain some of the rules and the jerseys and everything. So that was actually, him and watching one day of the Tour de France many years was a big introduction for me into the world of cycling.
Yeah.
And I guess that wasn't enough to make me want to do it, but I definitely thought it was cool and very interesting.
Yeah.
And him and my aunt would always do the European, a week or 2 week European road cycling trips where they'd stay in different hostels and hotels, whatever. There'd be a
It's like
support,
Jared's bike
like a
camp.
support car,
Yeah.
like taking them around, just do like 50 to 100, well, maybe like 50 to 75 miles a day.
Yeah.
Just like ride 10 miles, stop and see something, stop at a cafe,
Mhm.
ride 10 more.
Damn.
It sounds
Talk about
amazing,
those coffee
right?
stops.
Doesn't that sound incredible? So now that I'm riding and we're all so into it and it's just so enjoyable, like I'd say maybe on like a weekly basis, I think about that and just how amazing that would be now to say, yeah, let's do that. That'd be a blast.
I would do that. Let's
Absolutely.
Everybody stay tuned for the It's Just a Hill European cycling
edition.
tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start mapping out routes. Be great.
Yeah, what American tour? Because they canceled the Tour of California. Is there even?
Yeah, I don't think there's any like major
I don't
grand
know.
tours. Amgen
Right.
Tour of California, right, was the last big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess crit racing. I guess it's gonna have to be it.
That's all,
for now.
that's all I got.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's just about as good as part as any to stop it, right?
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything else they'd like to add before we wrap up the first episode of the podcast?
Is this the
I bought
pilot?
some water bottle cages today.
Nice.
Oh, shit.
What
Can
kind?
I get your old ones? Are you selling those?
I got the rib cage,
Are they carbon?
classic,
Carbon or the plastic ones?
just the plastic one.
Nice. I have those too. Those are great.
Yeah,
Secure hold.
for the LA.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Travel.
that's all.
How do you guys feel about black water bottles?
Black.
Great. I have.
That's all I have.
6
Yeah.
black water bottles.
Not a
Yeah.
fan.
They're not gonna. The water's not gonna stay cold anyway,
Yeah,
as far as I'm concerned.
That's true.
That's my thing.
Damn,
Because I have a white
Insulated.
like insulated water bottle. Great.
Insulated,
and then I
sure.
have
Yeah.
black one that I got when I bought Brian's bike.
Yeah.
It's
that
not
just-
insulated.
It's not insulated. And
Yeah.
it
Suck
gets
some water out of
very
that.
warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just resigned to the fact that the water's going to be warm. It's going to be my body temperature, and that means I'm going to process it nicely.
Yeah.
Damn
Warm
job.
water
that's
is better.
true.
That's true.
That's
I'm going to hydrate.
I saw
I,
someone on a gas station food cyclist put an iced coffee inside their water bottle.
Uh-huh.
And
I
it
just did that.
We were talking about that the other
blew my
day.
fucking mind.
Yeah.
I was like, why have I never thought to do this?
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you say? Iced coffee?
In
Yeah.
the water bottle, yeah. We made a coffee stop. I
that
finished my
sounds
water,
nice.
and I had like half of the coffee.
Yeah,
left.
we were
I put it
talking
in the
about
bottle.
that last Saturday.
Yeah, right.
Genius. Absolute
Yeah.
genius.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shout
Uh,
out gas station food cyclist. It's like
Yeah.
the best
Oh, hell yeah.
Instagram
I love that.
Oh,
I bought
Cat
a
is,
couple.
Hey, what are you doing on my bag?
in
Oh
fuck-
my god!
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Hey!
Wow! Right on my laptop cake.
Savage. Sorry about that. She has no manners.
Yeah.
We're doing a
Amazing.
podcast.
Hey!
She doesn't even listen. She doesn't know her name.
Oh my
She
goodness!
really hates bikes.
You'd have to smush this one too.
Did you stop?
Oh, is that why you don't have the other one?
Yeah, I smushed them.
I mean, it's like a cushy case, but I get it.
It's like
Sorry
oh my
about
God.
her.
Oh, it's okay.
It's like that Bob's Burgers episode where he sits on the hamster and he doesn't want at the Halloween party and he kills it and he doesn't want to tell him.
Uh-oh, she's making her way back.
All right, we have to obviously
We're
have to
gonna
end the
wrap
show.
this.
I'll talk about my new helmet next time. We have a cycling club on Strava where you can do our group rides.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we stop and we get coffee and we put it in our water bottles.
Yep.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
This has been fun.
This is great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
It's been a pleasure.
Bye.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Decaf left, regular right. Decaf left, regular right. It's very challenging work.